It certainly sounds like it would be helpful to have a friendly in with the clown should it come to this point, because from what I've understood from talking to Zippy, there's a good chance that they could try and make an alliance with the cult, and that's something we want to know about and be aware of, right? So
I've been told that his desire to bring back what Marcus, I think, somebody along that name.
Marcus, yeah, I don't know who that is, but that's the plan, yeah.
Yeah, Matt would told him the same thing I would tell him. It's not the person that's. If they did bring him back, it wouldn't be the same person he loved enough to bring them back. They would be different, the
Hmm.
shells themselves.
Yeah, I see.
Sometimes we have to accept death as what it is. Sometimes when our time comes. The only thing that matters, I've said this a lot, but everybody dies twice, Mr. Paul. Once when the bullet enters our physical body and it kills us. The second time when the last person forgets our name. You should not strive to try to fight the bullet, but you should strive every day in your life for people to remember your name.
Yeah, that means a lot.
Because if your name is in their mind, Paul, you are not dead. You are not dead until the last person forgets your name.
It's nice to hear. That is it's quite relevant to me, actually. It makes a lot of sense.
We have to also choose our fights wisely. Beau has chose his, and he's doing some scary shit. That's for sure. But my heart is filled with hope we could win this. It's what drives me forward.
I know.
The thought of a world without banditry or cannibalism or the cult of Papa, people working together for a better thing. There are always going to be those uh, that look to harm others, but eventually, from what we've been given, there is a spark of hope in everybody here.
Uh-huh.
Even those we don't like.
That's certainly true. I mean, nobody's all good or all bad, right? And in fact, I'm more suspicious of somebody who professes that they are. If someone says they're all good, that to me is a red flag.
Not even Beau is all good. I've done horrible things in my life, Mr. Paul, that I regret on a daily basis. Before the infection, after the infection. But I grew up hard. The hardest part of my life was the early years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I learned to turn that hardness into something good.
You know what?
Some people have it opposite. They had it great before the infection. And then after, when shit went south, they are struggling, they are tormented and trying to find their way. But we all have that point of us we'd like to remove and forget.
You know what you just said there? So, like you, Bo, I had an early life that people wouldn't imagine, right? It was very bad. But my goal, all my life, has been one thing. Is that my goal every day is to be a better human being. Not in spite of my early life, but because of it. You know, to use that to learn to understand people better, myself better, and no matter what happens, always come out the other side with a bit more compassion and a bit more self-understanding and understanding of others. And it sounds like you have the same kind of mentality. That's fairly rare, I think.
It's because I've not fought my demons, but I've accepted them.
Hmm.
They are a part of who I am, and I cannot change that no matter how much I want to. But we're all on a path to somewhere, and we have to keep stepping along that path, Paul. And we have to make sure we're taking the right branches. We will not know at the time if we are, but what matters is stepping forward. Keep stepping forward. We're all not infected for a reason. That makes us special as is.
What do you think? Do you
Look
know
at all
anything?
those people out there. Yes, of course. I mean, it's the evidence is in front of us. You don't have to believe in a god or a spiritual thing like Beau does to know that the people who are still alive got lucky. Somehow the infection has not changed us. Why, when we shoot somebody and put them down, do they not rise again like the rest? There's something in all of us that's important.
Uh-huh.
It's our duty to find what that is and move forward. But there's obstacles always in the way, always. Because one will be the quote of Papa, who thrives on seeing people suffer. The second biggest, in my eyes, would be Dam, people that eat others. We are not a food source. And third in line of that would be the criminals, the banditry, the liars. But like I said, I'm not the way that's going to choke on two schools. I'm going to focus on the top.
I'm worried for you though, bro, as you know, like, yeah, it's just, I want you to, I need you, we need you to be safe. There's not many people like you. In fact, there's nobody like you. It's important that you're
Yeah,
safe.
we do.
There's risks I have to take. I understand them, but I hope being around enough inspires people that if something does happen to me, somebody else will pick up my voice. They will keep preaching, keep fighting. They will teach people that I am not going to lie and tell anybody I'm not afraid of dying. I'm scared. But I have comfort in the fact that each and everybody I talk to always leaves with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
And when my day does come, whether it's through Dam or whoever might want to Beau's head, I'm not going to let it crumble me. I'm going to die standing. There's an old saying, it was in reference to the American national anthem, but it came from the writer when he was watching Fort Henry get bombarded by the British. He looked at the British general and he said that what sets the American man apart is he would rather die on his feet than live on his knees. Pretty sure that's a quote from George Washington himself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's only American men that are like that. I think there are men and women all across this land that need to take that to heart. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to mourn, to be scared for those you care about. But if we don't fight, then nobody else will.
I think you're right, Beau. But I think Paul has a point also. That we need you.
I don't think I'm
if we're
valuable
to keep.
enough to be targeted.
Are you kidding me?
That's
You
not
put
true.
together this whole plan.
Come on.
This whole thing is you. Your voice, your words, your
It
actions.
is, but the only people that would target me are the cult, and they already have a target.
About that.
And it's not Beau.
Do you know that he hasn't been seen for around 6 months? Even his best friend hasn't seen him.
Well, that's the problem. Is he's back.
Oh, I see.
He left a note up there the other day, so I have people reaching out to him that he trusts. So I can set up a meeting with Overlook and him so we can warn him properly of what's happening.
Okay.
But that's already in the flow of things. It's already working. Until then, I hope he stays in hiding and doesn't do anything foolish because we don't need another Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, found something you might enjoy.
Oh, I've read this. This is good. I've read this twice. I learned a lot from this actually.
It's a very good book.
And this is again a story of betrayal and you know Michael.
It's a story to take heed from.
Mm-hmm.
You always keep that in your mind, that even those who stood vigil the longest still fail, but we are still here fighting, are we not? We are not guardians, no firekeepers. We are all fools, but I think in the coming days, weeks, months, there will form a brotherhood of people that truly understand what we are doing. And we will be surprised who steps into the circle.
Oh, what do you know about so when I had my experience with these cult guys, I didn't know who to trust, right? I didn't know if I could trust even my bosses, and you weren't around. So I thought, who can I trust? And ever since I've been here, there was one man I always looked up to because I listened to these tapes I found. It was Harry Churches of the Fireflies. So I went to see him and I told him about everything that I'd witnessed and what they said and done, and it just dismissed me. He was like, "Oh, don't worry about that, Paul. It's nothing. They don't exist." And I walked away really confused. What do you mean with all that?
For the longest time, even myself, I mean, you know who Natasha is, right?
Yeah.
When she was a member of the Wolves, I had learned that she was perusing around the cult circles down near Zelenogorsk. And I had made a trip down there and confirmed it myself, and once I found out, I was in a different mindset at the time. I was Matt myself and many others would shoo people away. I was in the thoughts that the more people believed in the cult, the greater power they had. Kind of like a siphon, right? The more people talking about them, whispering their name,
Mm-hmm.
brought them more power that they could use to hurt people. So we did our diligence to approach people that were curious, and in some instances even threaten them away, telling them that looking into the cult would get them killed. For the longest time, people have done this for years now, since the last Guardians, since the Firekeepers and the Guardians died in the wars, and everybody's been afraid to talk about it because they felt that the more it was talked about, the more potential followers the cult might receive. People are always attracted to power. And some powers are best left dead. But this is before the nights of that event where me and Matt kind of realized how fucked we were. When that cultist walked in and no one saw them for what they were and the threat they were in, it was a slap in the face. It was a wake-up call for me and Matt. And we realized that they had power still. But we had been feeding into everything they wanted. To move amongst people unnoticed, to complete their machinations without any contest. You know, nobody to...
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm gonna get some wood.
Okay. Nobody to fight against, yeah. There are many people that still believe the cult is... They might believe the cult's real, but they have no power, or they are not a threat. Those people are mistaken. But it is not our job to force them to believe. They will believe in time when they see.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm being vocal about it. The more people that know, the more people are watching.
Well,
And when all eyes are upon the threat, then when they make a move, all eyes will see and there will be no more disbelief.
but it's a
The
fine
trap
line,
would be
Beau.
sprung.
Is it not? Sorry, go on, keep this trap, tell me.
It is a fine line, Paul, but somebody's got to walk it. Like, somebody has to.
What I mean though, right? So when they let me go, they gave me this phrase to say, right? And they were very specific. And when I got it wrong, they kept bashing me over the head. And then what they wanted me to spread the word, right? It was, you know the phrase. It's that, we're everyone, all that kind of stuff. And I thought about it for a few days, and then I decided, well, if I do that, if I do what they told me to do, I'm just spreading the fear. So I left them a note over there in the police station saying, I'm not going to be your fearmonger. I'm not going to do it. But maybe that was wrong. Maybe what you're saying is that we should be spreading the word, but do it in our way, right? How do you do that without spreading the fear as well?
With honesty. That's why I'm not lying about it. People are so used to people sneaking into places and, hey, can I talk with you privately about this?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know this is uncomfortable, but I need to talk about this. Out in the open, over the airways, we're pulling back the curtain. When people see the threat, they will act. Their instincts will tell them to act. The problem right now is everything's blanketed with mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And the cult thrives off of mystery. They thrive off of that feeling you have where you didn't know what to do. You didn't know how to act. That's what they thrive off of, Paul.
So,
The general confusion of everything is what drives them forward. And then they break people.
I'll be honest, Beau. That's exactly how I've been. He stood there in front of me, putting on his different voices. He was Mick, he was me, he was Matt, he was Harry Churches, and like, I don't know. And this whole "we can be anyone," trust no one. It's like I look at my bosses now, and I'm like, every time they make a decision that I think is not right for the merry men, I'm thinking, well, why is he doing that? Are they trying to destroy the good we're doing? It's like, it has got to me a bit. I don't know, like, who to trust, and suspicious of everything. And that can't be good.
The cult's main thing they love to be toying with is community camps. People that help people. The reason being is they love seeing the switch in attitude when people go from receiving help to receiving darker things. They thrive off of that. They like seeing good men fall. They like seeing those that quite frankly, are clueless about it, aimlessly walk into the line of fire for a cause they know nothing about. If we educate them on what the quote is, that removes one part of their weapon. Everybody will be watching. Everybody will be keeping their eyes open, even if they don't believe. And when that time comes, and it will come, Paul, when Nameless and Sova or whoever, Duncan, appears, I think they will underestimate the amount of people that we have been talking to.
Hmm. And what do they mean when they say, so one thing he kept saying to me on the radio, right, was like, the merry men are doing our work, and he was saying me specifically. He said you're doing our work. You're so giving. You're so kind. You're doing our work. What's all that about?
That's in reference to the community camp thing. They told that to the dugout before
Uh huh.
once. Gathering people together in one place, they view as feeding the fish in the pond, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing the work for them by centralizing everything in one area.
Yeah.
Basically, they don't have to chase if all the targets come to them. And because they like to infiltrate, it's always coming to them.
It's this infiltration part that worries me because, you know, after what I've witnessed and like I say, the decisions that I'm seeing within my group sometimes make me think, are you trying to make us stronger or weaker? Are you trying to make the merry men who we're supposed to be? Or like some of the decisions, it feels like you're trying to destroy us from the inside out, and I don't know what to make of it all.
Well, those are the also. This is all speaking on tactics of the past. A smart predator changes his tactics just as the cultists change their rituals.
Huh?
I don't think the cult is as strong nearly as it once was, and Nameless might be able to put on many faces. But those who truly know, and that's why I tell people, keep those you love close to you. Watch them. Keep them close and take care of them, not only mentally but physically. It makes it that much harder for Nameless to infiltrate, to act as one other, you know. When you know what somebody's going through and you're helping them through it, there's an obvious change in demeanor when he takes over. You will know if Nameless has somebody as long as you are watching for what happens.
Yeah,
That's why I keep preaching this.
there is someone actually, a new guy. There's something not right about him. I have to keep an eye on him.
Who is this?
He's a new guy. His name is Sam. He said he's been around for a very, very long time, and slowly he started to reveal things. He was a member of a group called the Rangers, and he's told us some of the stuff he did back then, which was very, very bad. But he says he's trying to make up for it. But I don't know.
The Rangers of Chenais.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about them. Those bastards have dug their own grave a long time ago. Quite frankly, I don't see any reason for the cult to even consider one of them. It'd be too obvious.
okay. I mean, he told me stories about selling people to them and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, I know many things about what the Rangers have done over the years. Who they did it to. They sold out. Nah, I'm not going to dig up old wounds. I consider them dead and gone. They buried themselves a long time ago when they betrayed people.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, who's that?
Hello?
This is Blackthorn. Who might this be?
This is Tom from the Overlook. Let me come down to you, gentlemen.
My name
hey
is
there,
Beau.
Tom.
Diz and Mike.